Half duplexes or semi-detached homes in Calgary are so interesting to talk about. Every single month, you never know what you're going to get in the half duplex market. Like, look at this price increase from the past month. My name's Fyfe, your Calgary realtor. If you're looking at getting into the market, you have some questions, you want to know what to expect in 2024, go ahead and book a Zoom call. The link is in the description. I promise I'm fairly easy to talk to. Semi-detached homes or half duplexes are now worth $658,000, a 13% increase from last year, which equates to about a $76,000 increase. And from last month, we've seen almost $19,000 increase just in 1 month. The semi-detached market in Calgary is on fire. Now, let's remember, there are attributes, right? We want to make sure that we look at the attributes. There's a 3-bed up, 1 bed down, 2 full bath, 1 half bath, 1,260 square foot, built in 2005. So when you look at the benchmark price, just make sure that you overlap those attributes with it. Now, let's go back to this chart here. So this past month is the second time in the last 13 months that sales outpaced inventory. So you can see the green bar has actually outpaced the blue bar. You can see that in May of last year, we saw the same thing, which I remember last year I thought that, okay, here we go, strap in. I thought it was going to be quite busy, but then you can see that the inventory started to drop as well as the sales. If you actually look from July all the way to December, sales continued to fall every single month. Now, January all the way to March, we're seeing a massive increase in sales. We actually almost beat every single month last year in terms of sales. We had 250 sales, where the highest last year was, let's just call it 280, right? I would imagine if there's more listings come to the market, we're probably going to see this increased sales activity in this market. So let's dive into it. Now, this is a written description from the Calgary Real Estate Board. I'm not going to read it, so go ahead and pause the video, read it on your own, and skip to the next chapter. Now, this is kind of a similar breakdown for the chart that we just saw, but with a numerical value attached to it. You can see that this is the sales, the new listings, and the inventory. So we're very tight. You can see that the sales was 250, the new listings was 260, and we have 205 homes left over at the end of the month. Increased it by 10 realistically. The days on market is 21 days, which is almost the fastest that we've seen it in the last 12 months. You can see in June of last year we're at 19, and I would imagine next month we're probably going to get to around that that days on market as well. You can see that the benchmark price in March was $658, the median price was $620, and the average price was all the way up to $690. So pretty crazy stuff here. Now let's start to break it down a little bit more and kind of dive into it a little deeper. So this is a overview of the entire city year to date. So you can see that the sales are up compared to last year. The sales volume is at 387 million. New listings is up. Luckily, it's really great to see that. Inventory has dropped, which is fairly self-explanatory for the entire property type in the city. Sales to new listing rate, the months of supply is down to 1.13, which is a very tight market. You can see that sales to new listing ratio is at 81%. Sales to list price is at 101%, which is pretty crazy. You can see that days on market for average year to date is 26. Benchmark price, median price, and average price, all very similar to the last one that we just looked at. So when you start to look at the months of supply and the inventory, this is, again, self-explanatory throughout the entire city. We are at record low inventory. We need more listings. If you're looking at selling your property, this is the year. Yes, if you wait it out, you might be able to increase a little bit more, but at the same time, there are a lot of good opportunities to maximize on your equity right now. Now, this is a quick breakdown of each individual quadrant. So if we look here, it's actually quite an interesting story. You can see that City Center, like every other quadrant, is the most amount of months of supply, which is at around 1.2, which is, again, still a very strong seller's market. You can see Northeast is around 1 month, and then you go all the way down to East Calgary, they're under 0.2, which is insane. That is an absolutely fast market, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Now, this is a quick overview of the price points. Again, very interesting story here. You can see just how crazy the west compared to the city center as well, and then you drop down to northwest, and then those other 3 quadrants, the north, the south, and southeast, are all hovering around that $500,000 price point, followed by northeast and east. Didn't mean to go through all of them, but there we are. Now, again, very important to remember that we're looking at the benchmark attributes for these property types. So let's kind of pick on north and south at this moment because they have the same price as their benchmark price. But when you look at north and south, you will see that there's actually some differences there when you look at the actual home itself. For the north, you've got a 3-bed, 3-bath, which is 2 full, 1 half, 1,200 square foot, built in 2004, for very easy numbers. Now, when you look down at south, it's a 3-bed, 3-bath again, 2 full, 1 half. It's got 1,200 square foot. The lot sizes are very similar, but it's built in 1989. So when you start to actually bring up those other attributes, you can see that the south will be more expensive than the north, right? A newer property in the south will cost more than the property in the north when you start to, make those comparisons. Now, pretty crazy stuff here. When you look at the actual increases for semi-detached homes, everything is above 10%. So when you start to look at some of these things, you start to realize how fast and how aggressive this market has been and will continue to be all throughout the year. And if you're curious of what your property is worth, thank you so much for everyone who's actually gone ahead and done this already. This is my AI instant home evaluation portal. Super slick. You put in your information and it gives you an email within seconds, giving you an auto evaluation. Yes, I'll probably call. Yes, I'll probably introduce myself and thank you for using the service. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to have a conversation, right? If you're not looking to sell, so be it. If you're looking to maybe refinance, or you're looking to maybe leverage, or whatever the case might be, maybe you're just curious of what your home is worth. That's totally fine. I appreciate everyone who actually goes ahead and uses this product. It is very humbling and very nice and comforting for people to actually go ahead and trust me to provide them with value. At the end of the day is what this is all about. So here is the microeconomic breakdown for the entire city. This is the sales. This is the new listings. This is the sales to new listings ratio. Quite a few over 100%. You can see northwest, west, as well as east, all over 100%. Like west is pretty crazy. You can see that they had 23 sales and only 16 new listings. So west could definitely use some more listings. You can see that this is the inventory of the leftover homes at the end of the month. You can see that East Calgary only had 2, so obviously I'm actually curious now. I should probably look those up and see kind of what they are in East Calgary. Where you look at City Center, they have almost 100. You can see that this is the months of supply. Again, you can see that West is at 0.17, which is absolutely crazy to witness. And then this is the benchmark price. Remember to look over those attributes. This is the year over year and the month over month, and then boom, the numerical values for the actual quadrant. If you look at City Center, look at the price increases that they've just saw last month. $27,000 increase in 1 month. If you go down to West Calgary, they had a $22,000 increase, but last month they had a $27,000 increase. So we are seeing increases all throughout the city at all price points. If the City Center and West are seeing that gnarly of increase, and East Calgary, which is the most affordable quadrant in the city, seeing those percentages as well, I would argue that we're going to see an increase all throughout the year. I personally really like half duplexes, especially for first-time home buyers or an investor getting away from the condo and trying to find something that's a little bit more affordable, but you actually own the land. It's a freehold. You don't have a condo there. Semi-detached homes are definitely up on my list. I really like them a lot. You can buy a luxury product for a little bit less than when you would a single-family home. Vice versa, if you wanted to really get into like an ultra affordable but not have a condo, there are some options still kind of in the city. You just got to really hunt for them. You can see that everything is at, or most quadrants are now above 500,000, where last year a lot of them were not. So it's pretty crazy. So with that being said, the market with this chart here is going to increase. You can see that we have seen steady increases right from 2020. I would imagine as new product comes to the market, it's probably not going to be enough to offset the amount of demand that we're currently seeing in Calgary. So if you have any questions, go ahead, comment them below. Thank you very much for those who actually take the time and write questions, thought-provoking questions. I do take my time and I respond to them when I can. So thank you very much for those of you who do that. If you have any questions, go ahead, book a call. The link is in the description. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.